Anyone watching The Crown?
So in the lockdowns of 2020, I hit YouTube hard. I was watching all sorts of content when previously I hadn't really watched a great deal other than music videos and movie trailers. Now, I watch and still do watch all sorts of content. I don't just watch the paranormal. But two of the channels I found around this time were channels by J.R. Aubrey, who's an American channel, and The Right Opinion, that's a British channel. And they don't upload loads of content. Their videos are very long. But they're kind of debunking channels, but nothing to do with the paranormal. They tend to go after the big YouTubers. And they do it with deep dives and with really good humour. And they're both channels I enjoy very much, and especially as they're hitting content that I wouldn't touch with a barge pole normally. So when Sinai Guy came to my attention, which I think was probably with his first video, I saw that same humour and format and subscribed straight away. So I think I'm going by the channel, but this seems to be the first one that Seg put out. And right from the word go, you can see the format, you can see the humour. He hasn't just thrown a video out for the sake of it. He's clearly thought even the first one through. And the only difference I can really see in this first one is the voice is a little less animated than you would normally get. And I can't really criticise that. It took a lot of encouragement and advice and about 15 videos before I even put my voice onto my YouTube channel. So kudos for that.
So you're heartbroken?
Oh God, how did this turn into Supernatural Love Island? Everybody and welcome. In this channel, I'm diving into ghost hunting and the paranormal. Straight up, I'm a skeptic. Ghost hunting videos are a guilty pleasure of mine. But whether you believe in things that go bump in the night or not, please leave a comment. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. Like and subscribe.
I'd actually forgotten that it was a different intro at the beginning. And I quite like that one as well. Now, straight out of the gate, Seg is deep diving. Seeing familiar names pop up straight away. The next video would be Sam and Colby with Amanda, and next on with Twin Paranormal. And so the investigation and the research is evident pretty much right from the start, as well as the humour developing, the tone and the techniques all developing straight away. Now, I was watching a live with Seg earlier today, and he was mentioning it took about 5 or 6 weeks for him to put the second video out, so he didn't throw out content for the sake of it, which is ironic considering a lot of the channels he looks at are doing it in the way they do it so they can churn the content out on a regular basis, regardless how it's done.
They filled it with concrete.
You just touched the tree.
Why can't I touch the tree?
It's like the same story as the devil's chair, dude.
I already sat in the devil's chair.
It brings you misfortune, sickness, could bring death.
I touched it.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
Or graves.
Oh,
I don't know, that could... Okay, so that could be anything.
Or it could be nothing.
Well, I mean, the whole reason that I'm here is because a lot of YouTubers use equipment like dowsing rods, things like that they say work.
I don't trust machines.
It is.
This is why Amanda is useful. Why use gadgets and toys to feed your bullshit when you've got a living, breathing person to do it for you?
On this tree.
So Seg very quickly hit 1,000 subscribers, and by the time he was putting together his 1K video, he was hitting 2K. It was a very fast growth for the channel, And it wasn't surprising. The humour combined with the increasing amount of investigation he was doing around the subject matter, around the people, around the locations. Everything was heading for the way you actually see the channel now. Now, I've put the thumbnail up for the 1K, thank you. It's worth going back, having a look at that, looking through all of the videos, but having a look at that because Seg does explain how the channel started, what his motivation behind it was, and he also discusses his own paranormal experience, which I'll mention in regard to the way he does the debunking in a little bit later.
One pretty important thing I think I should clear up. I don't necessarily see myself as a debunker. Yes, I agree that debunking is part of all my videos, and it is going to be a very important part of the kind of content I put out there. So it's not like there's no debunking at all. Like, it will come with the territory. But there are just so many better debunkers than me. The Shape, Beardo, Mr. Grey, Purple, Crowa Judas are all way smarter than me. They all know their stuff way better than me. So if you want to go to someone to debunk these guys, I would go to those guys head and shoulders over me. Like, you know, I'm just around to laugh at them. That's kind of like what this channel is. I want to laugh at them. I want to mock their ridiculous claims, their fakery. And I won't pull any punches in doing that. I will just say it how it is.
And he did. And one of the channels that Seg hits hardest, I don't know why. It's a mystery. Maybe it's because just about every video they put out, they crank up the absurdity and the lack of respect for locations. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But it would be Twin Paranormal. It was this particular video. And although Seg had done it before, looking at locations and putting in the research, this was the one where some of the style that he would become known for started coming into play. And this is Twin Paranormal, in his words, going too far again, dealing with skinwalkers, and again, because this wouldn't be the first time, dealing with a location where a tragedy's happened and it's being played upon for clicks and views.
Skinwalkers are known to shapeshift. What if it wasn't even the dad? What if it wasn't even David? What if this Skinwalker killed all of them and David's somewhere else? Maybe David died somewhere else and this Skinwalker took his place.
Oh, not this again.
These twats have a really bad habit of exploiting and making up wild theories about recent real tragedies. In my opinion, it's nothing short of disgusting to deflect the horrendous actions of their piece of shit father. To suggest a skinwalker took the form and killed this family is disgraceful. The murders happened in 1991, and I hope none of the living family members ever see a video. Twin Paranormal should be ashamed of themselves, but I know they don't care because they do this shit all the time.
Twin Paranormal went through a phase of handing out copyright strikes like candy, including, I think it was 3 to Seg. The video of this thumbnail, Seg goes through that particular event, and in the end, it didn't work for them. So, yes, people continue to debunk Twin Paranormal, and they've been hit quite hard recently by a number of people, including Seg, including Joe Vitale, particularly for the Monroe House investigation that they did recently. And this brings me on to Mindseed TV.
Today, I'll be reacting to Mindseed while they go to a haunted plantation. I love Mindseed. They do some of the greatest YouTube horror movies you're going to find.
Grab your popcorn, turn out the lights, and enjoy today's episode as you go side by side with us on another horrifying haunted location.
Ooh, baby, yeah. We're approaching Halloween. I love a good horror movie with the... Sorry, what? What was that? Mindseed say they're real? No, no. They really do? Mindseed are not an entertainment channel.
It's all fake news.
Fake news.
But seriously, if Mindseed stopped trying to pretend all of this was real, their channel would be next level. I don't have to watch every horror movie thinking it's real to be scared. Every Mindseed episode could be amazing if they just went off the rails and did whatever they wanted to do without trying to keep things within the realms of reality.
Now, this is where I fully agree with Seg. Now, I'm a believer in the paranormal. I just don't like the evidence being faked. But I do agree with everything in terms of Mindseed TV. Now, I've covered Mindseed myself with that quote, and they will feature when I'm doing my videos looking at horror movie techniques and how the fake channels use them. And I do agree that they would be a superb entertainment channel if they had the nerve just to say they're entertainment rather than pretending to be real. I don't think it would affect them that badly. And it would give them more scope to end the blooming things properly, because nearly every episode just ends up with them, oh no, we're out of here, we're going away. So I fully agree on that one. And where, for me, watching Seg right from the beginning, things really started to fully highlight how good his investigation skills were, was with Mindseed. And it started, I think, for me, fully with the video that you're about to see, where they claim to be on a plantation, and Seg just went the extra mile to debunk that.
It was a dark and stormy night in New Orleans, Louisiana, as we sat in a rental car outside of a haunted plantation.
First of all, can we address the elephant in the room here? In the title, you say this building is a plantation and it's in Louisiana, just outside of New Orleans. But at no point do you explain who or what is supposed to be haunting this place. I'm not even sure we're in the New Orleans area here. We know the date they did this investigation because of the live stream I mentioned earlier. The investigation happened on April 22nd, 2023. So I went on a few websites that record weather by date. New Orleans on the 22nd of April 2023 was a sunny day and a clear night. No storms or rain in the area at all.
Seg also exposed Mindseed in terms of using actors to portray families who'd been haunted.
We know that there's people out there who try to dedicate their time to debunking us and proving that all this stuff is fake. It doesn't matter what anybody says.
My name is Richard Cavanaugh. My wife and I bought a house about 45 years ago. We had 2 sons, and we raised our sons there. We had a little playhouse built in the backyard with a swing set and everything, and we watched them grow up in that house.
And in the emails you said that over the last year or two, you guys have been kind of experiencing some strange stuff.
One of the creepier things was, I don't know why I woke up. I see my grandson swinging on the swing. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was shocked because he's not supposed to be outside, and this is a 7-year-old.
That's creepy.
It was so creepy. I just had a knot in my stomach at this point. And if you block love out of your life, there's no way for either to find its way in. But life has a way of bringing us to the places and the people we truly need.
Now, I know one of the reasons that people watch Seg, one of the main reasons is the humour, and he is very, very funny. And I may do a follow-up at some point with all the best bits, all the juicy bits. But for this particular channel spotlight, I thought it was important to emphasise the amount of research and investigation that Seg does when he's doing his debunks. There's a lot going on in the community right now, and there's even more lashback than normal. And I think it's important to stress that it's not just about, and I keep saying this, I know, but it's not just about sort of pointing things out in the video themselves. It's about the research. I've discussed this with Doof Doof Paranormal. I've discussed this when I did the channel spotlight on Entity 7, Joe Vitale. It's important to have that background knowledge. It's important to expand the way that you actually look at these videos and look at these channels and look at how they're operating. There's things going on this week that as I'm recording now, and things are kicking off again, and I don't know whether I'll do a vlog on it or whether I'll leave it to the February review, because that'll be due out soon anyway. But this is what I'm considering important, is how the way that the debunking community is working is expanding on what it's looking at, on how it's looking at these channels. And for the penultimate part of this video, I want to highlight the next stage that Seg went onto in terms of looking and analysing events that are going on with the fake paranormal channels. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up on 3 interviews that Seg did, and actually talking on screen to various people who are either investigating themselves or have been affected by certain channels. Now, I'm only giving an overview here. If you haven't seen any of these, please go over and watch. I've tried to do that through this entire video, where I'm giving tasters here. I'm not looking to show you all of Seg's channel. I'm looking for you to see what's there and to know what to go to give you ideas as to what to look at if you are new, or if maybe you're a newer subscriber and haven't seen some of the older stuff. And an important factor in, as I've just said earlier, the way that Seg is expanding, the way he operates his channel, and how he does his investigating. So I'm going to start with the Sam and Colby and Seth Borden incident, and which is followed on by just an introduction to the owner of the Bel Air house, which is where the incident took place, and the introduction to Seg's interview with her.
What if I was to tell you, dear viewer, that I have irrefutable proof that Sam, Colby, and Seth Borden were being so disrespectful at a haunted house location that they had the police called on them? What if I was to tell you that in this video on my modest channel, we will see footage of Sam saying what sounds like he doesn't believe in the paranormal? What if I was to tell you that a sexually inappropriate comment was made towards a female staff member at this property? What if I was to tell you that property was damaged by these fellas? Well, dear viewer, you're about to see a side of Sam and Colby that's never been seen before on YouTube. Let's call this the behind-the-scenes bonus footage of when Sam, Colby, and Seth went to the Bel Air house nearly 2 years ago. We're joined with Kristen Lee, who is the owner of the Bel Air house. Kristen, thank you very much for taking the time to go on the record with me.
Thank you. I appreciate having the opportunity to do this with you and talk to you, so I can answer any questions that you have and clear things up from my end.
Yeah, there's a lot that I think needs to be cleared up here, so I really appreciate you taking the time to give us all some answers.
Seg's also done interviews with Truth or Demons concerning Ed and Lorraine Warren, and also with African debunker Daniel concerning what's going on the African continent with regards to the paranormal. That was also followed up by a live stream with Daniel, which will also is on Seg's channel, so please check that out as well.
Hey, Segways! Today I'll be doing something a little bit different. I'll be having an interview with Stevie from the Truth or Demons podcast, and she's very knowledgeable on many things about the Warrens. So just a heads up on what this video will be. We are going to discuss and do a deep dive into the Devil Made Me Do It case, which is pretty much the third Conjuring movie. This is going to be a pretty different video from my regular content, but this is such an important topic that I urge everyone to stick around here and please watch to the end. A few weeks back, I got an email from a YouTube debunker called Daniel. I'd never seen his channel before, as he debunks mainly in Africa. He's from Nigeria. Thankfully, he didn't call himself a prince, and he debunks voodoo scammers in many different African countries. I checked his channel out for myself, and some of the things Daniel was doing was just flat out insane. He takes debunking to a whole new level and puts me to shame. Later in the video, I'm going to explain some of the things Daniel has had to do in order to debunk the nonsense supernatural claims that are widely believed in Africa, as they are nothing short of scams.
The last thing I'm going to mention for this spotlight is when Seg does the smaller channels. Now, this is one of the most recent events. This is a sort of online altercation that Seg got into with Dawson Toller. He was in a video that Seg debunked. He took it personally, did a video back to defend himself, and Seg gave him what he called tough love. And there was some sort of truce here, and my feeling is the large channels aren't going to change their ways. There's too many clicks and views and revenue in it. But if the smaller channels can be shown that it's not a good path to go down before they get to a certain amount of subscribers, and they get tempted to start pulling out the fishing wire and the hard edits and the masking, that's a good thing. That really is a good thing. So overall, what I've tried to do with this video is give an overview of the way the channel's developed, but also different approaches that Seg's taken, and basically where he is now with what he's doing. It's important, and I always have time for any creator, whatever they are doing, that they will look not just to sit and do the same thing all the time. I'll come back to that in some of the videos I'm planning. Anybody who claims to be a creative that doesn't strive to move forward, they're not doing it for the right reason. They're doing it for the money, they're doing it for an easy life, or they're doing it for both. So think about that. If you're watching some of the fake paranormal channels and thinking, well, this looks exactly the same as the last one, it's just a different location or whatever, just think about that. And it'll be interesting to see where Seg takes his channel now, how he develops further, if there's going to be more interviews, different topics such as the African debunker. It's a good place to be. And like I said, I know that people watch Seg because of the humour, quite rightly. It's why I started watching Seg in the first place. But look a bit deeper, and I'm sure you do. I'm sure those who are already subscribed already do. But look a little bit deeper into what he's actually trying to say and the way he's actually approaching the research and the information that he's providing when he's reviewing a channel.